ATRT is a rare and aggressive brain tumor that primarily affects children under the age of 3 years old. It is estimated that about 30 to 50 children in the United States are diagnosed every year with ATRT. ATRT is significant to our family because Kinsley was diagnosed when she was 3 years old on September 11th, 2018. When Kinsley first got diagnosed back in 2018, it was just really a shock.
They told me that Kinsley couldn't breathe last night, so they took her to the hospital. The bad news came out that Kinsley was diagnosed. Me and Avila were very sad. We cried.
You know, our family was like any other normal Granite Bay family. 3 kids, nice home. Both of us were working at the time, and it was, we were kind of living the dream. From that to 24 hours later, finding out that she had a 6-centimeter brain tumor in her right frontal lobe. That day, that 24 hours was really hard because we went from kind of figuring out what Kinsley's symptoms were to a diagnosis of a brain tumor, not knowing if it was cancer or not, to she needs surgery immediately and she needs to be in the ICU. So we immediately transitioned to the pediatric ICU, and they basically prepped her for a craniotomy, a brain surgery to remove the 6.5-centimeter mass from her brain.
We were at the hospital, but we had to stay behind the glass walls and just wave and watch, and that was definitely really, really hard.
I think at that point we were still really hopeful that once they removed it, that her problems would resolve, and that would just be a part of her story, not her entire 3-year journey that we've been through. She was diagnosed 3 years ago. She did a very aggressive upfront initial protocol, and then 6 months after she was done with that, she relapsed with new tumors in her spine. So we started a new therapy that was developed in Europe that is less commonly used in the United States. And that was initially working, and then it stopped working, and she had spread back up into her brain. With ATRT, it's really aggressive, and things can change just in the matter of weeks. So we're thankful for where we're at right now. We're hopeful that the current set of medications that she's on will be her cure. Only 4% of all government funding for cancer is put into pediatric cancer, which means majority of people raising funds for cancer are families whose children have cancer and who are directly impacted by it.
We've had lots of friends that we've known who've had ATRT, and just because there are not enough medicines, it was like they'd ran out of options.
Well, I think we're at a time in life, just as a community, where being united is such a beautiful thing to witness and see. Coming together for advocacy for children that don't have a voice.
What's sort of amazing about this basketball game is, these are 2 local high schools that are coming together. So we're, quickly moving in a direction of actually, making real change, and the fact that that's just, 2 high schools, and, imagine if sort of across the United States that they did that, it would be a big game changer. So I think it's just amazing to see effectively kids, high school kids, coming together and really trying to make a change, and really effectively you're going to make a change. For quite some time, there was a stretch where Kinsley was in the hospital for on the order of like 140 days. About half of those 70 were in the ICU.
So when I went back to see Kinsley and my mom, I was just crying so hard because I missed them so much. Because we didn't see them for like 2-3 weeks, but it was by far the longest stretch of time we had without them. And it was really hard, but I remember being so happy when I saw them.
Kinsley she'll have what anyone would think would be a pretty crummy day, and she'll come out smiling on the other side. And so it's kind of amazing how these cancer kids sort of just, they go through these challenging situations and, still come out sort of just being kids. So.
The song that my dad used to sing to me.
It's Riptide.
Lay that run down to Dad, taken away to the dark side and be your left-hand man. I love you when you sing my song. I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong.
We're effectively, or Kinsley's effectively, a pioneer right now. I mean, quite literally, the combination of medicines she's on, she might be the only kid in the world who's on them.
She's really honestly just such a brave individual that I feel like just really lights up a room when she enters it.
I like how Kinsley always wants to play with me, and then when she plays with me, we have fun and then it turns into a total disaster. It's pretty fun.
Kinsley is just a really bright light, and she's always so positive. She loves to skip. That's like one of her favorite things to do. And every day that she's skipping and we're out of a hospital and we're together as a family is really the best day ever. And so I think it's just always trying to look at the bright side and trying to always be positive. It's not always easy, but you know, it is easy when you're looking at 3 amazing kids who really help guide us. She is fierce, incredibly fierce.
She was so resilient at that time, going from something that was really hard for her and just making the best out of it, finding everything that she could, just finding all the joyous parts of it.